Our early development ends when we're convinced we have a game that's a good game, and essentially just becomes theming and full incorporation of that. And maybe it ends up working and maybe it doesn't. So I would hope maybe by version 5 to 9, we're through early development and we're confident that the core game is fun, and we just need to figure out how it works in a broader sense.
What does it take to bring an idea to life? How do board games even get made?
Did it.
Dadgummit.
That's what you get. Give me your last card.
And you get a toy.
When do you know that this crazy game idea is ready to go to market?
I really like this game.
Join us as we navigate the waters of board game design. From ideation to prototyping and ultimately fulfillment.
Recording for so long.
We are Chris Couch Gaming, and this is From Our Couch to Yours.
Chris Couch?
What's up, everybody? My name is Chris Porter. I am one of 4 co-founders of Chris Couch Gaming, and welcome From Our Couch to Yours. This is a video blog where we'll be kind of bringing you into the journey that we're currently going on for creating new games and bringing them to market. So today's episode, we're really going to be focused on 2 games that we're in early concept development for. And we're going to give you a little behind the scenes of what we're doing to play test and prototype those games and make those things come a reality hopefully soon. So the first game we're going to be looking at, it's a pirate themed game originally developed in concept by one of our other co-founders, Chris Clyburn. Now this game is very fun. It's fast paced, it's dice rolling, it's got a simultaneous player movement. It also has mini games built into it. It's very fun. It's meant to be kind of a pick up and play game that we hope can be really on any shelf for any family of any age group. Stuff that you can maybe even travel with and have a really good time playing when you're out and about.
Worked out, like what happens if all 4 people end up on the same, like if we all chose to go clockwise?
Yeah.
What's a 4-way battle?
I think as long as you have even numbers, you can pair off. And if you have odd numbers, there has to be a consensus.
How would you determine the pair off?
Whoever wants to do what. Like if D and I both want to battle and y'all
Would it be pairing off to where, like, if you and D want to battle each other, it's you 2 and then Porter and I fight?
Yeah, like
or is it like, hey, Chris, I'll team up with you to fight them 2?
I kind of like the teaming up against
2v2?
2v2.
What does that look like?
I don't know.
You gotta
Let's
roll.
figure it
You
out,
gotta. Like, it's just like, all right, who wants to partner up to go against these other pirates? It makes it
the same. The rules are the same.
What if
y'all
it's mandatory that the person with the highest dread teams up with that of the lowest dread? And if there's people who share that position,
They get to choose.
they get to choose.
I don't know.
You each roll
I like
one
you
die.
kind of have to
I would
just
say
pick
you
and choose.
Roll one
negotiate.
die.
Sure. Or you just keep rolling until 2 people roll the same thing. Like when you do flip up doubles in disc golf,
Yeah.
you just keep doing it until everyone's paired off. That would be a good way to do it.
Wait, to make
So,
the teams?
To make the teams, everybody roll 1 die. Then get it to land. Okay, so me and Daniel would be a team against you 2.
Mm-hmm.
And if no one had the same thing, you just keep rolling until. And let's say Porter rolled a 3, and you rolled a 3. Then Chris didn't roll a 3, so it's just the 3 of us rolling again.
And we've had a lot of fun playtesting it, but we're trying to right now work through a few challenges. One of the main challenges with this game that we've got codenamed Pirates is the components. Components are always a big challenge in any game that you're trying to develop. But this one in particular has a really fun little component where maybe it's having smaller miniatures that can go with the game. Coins, there's a lot of different things that we might need to include in the base game to make it work. And deciding between having 3D printed miniatures or little cardboard pieces that can go in the game that are fairly cheap is kind of one of the things that we're working through. Also, we're trying to figure out exactly how complicated to make the game. Do we make it have a lot of different variables and components, or do we simplify it down so people can have a really easy time to learn it and play it? And then the mini games component. it's games within games. So we want to make sure those games are easy to understand for people that haven't maybe not have ever played those games before. So those are some challenges that we've been working through, and we're going to give you a little bit of behind the scenes now of just some of our discussions and what it looks like to, flesh that game out.
Because it's going to get intense. We're racing right now to 10, right?
Yeah.
And so instead of just kind of doing it way over here in your corner and you drop one on the table, off the table, it's like, no, you duel right in front of everybody.
At that point, whatever was going to happen doesn't.
Okay, and then you have to flee.
You have to run away from the Navy because you can't fight.
Okay, so we have to roll to flee.
Yes.
And then if you have 6 dread, you have to roll a 6 to successfully escape.
Yep.
If you have a dread of 3, which
We don't have to remain target.
you're a little tuna compared to
They're not going to try as hard.
game.
The way Daniel put it is they're not going to try as hard to chase you.
Okay.
Which is kind of what we're doing.
The Navy will not pursue anyone with a dread of 2 or below, so they escape without rolling.
I talked about changing that. So we'll see how
We'll just see.
I think it's fine to leave it like you roll, and like whatever your dread is, you have to roll that or higher to be able to escape. And just leave it at that. Like so a person with 0 to 1 dread, they don't need to roll.
Yeah.
This is gonna happen. But if you have a 2, hey, you have 2 dread. Not 1 or 0, so you need to roll, and you better not roll a 1.
It'll be a balance though. If we want to go for treasures, we need to figure out how to make them equal. Going for treasures and going for dread.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to weight one too much. You're like, well, I'll try to go for treasures, but then the Navy's after me too, and then everyone would go for dread. Or vice versa.
Yeah, I think the Navy is a good way to
So there's some way we just have to play it out or math it out
balance off
to make sure it's at equal. Because ideally, you want 2 people going for treasure, 2 people going for dread in a
And it's 4-person game.
and not like everyone going for the same thing. It's like, well, obviously there's a reason why.
We really just need to be rolling, and seeing what's next on the left and right and, all that stuff. But I don't necessarily think that we need to make either the Kraken or the Navy like expansions because they're really cool and they seem pretty easy to include. So I think the idea of like having multiple ways to play adds like to playability. Like, okay, let's play with the Kraken this time, or like let's play with the Navy. And you can also just take it out, and then it's way quicker to just pick up and play. Like it's something that you could take to the airport, right?
Yeah.
And like play. And I think that's the really cool thing about this game.
Got 8.
I got 9.
No one's there.
7.
6.
3.
Almost.
10. Let's go.
Alright, so Nick, you just take a card from Daniel's hand.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like playing.
Only.
Now, this second game is a race-style game based off the childhood game that we all grew up playing, Capture the Flag. This game was originally developed by Daniel Voss and his wife Marlene. And this is a really fun player interaction game. It's player versus player. There's roll and move components and some player choice going on. It's got a lot of potential that we're trying to figure out exactly which direction to go. Do we make it very simple? Do we make it more complicated? Do we add a board? What do our components look like?
Like you said, the board starts filling out with X's and O's because you don't need to go you never need to double back because you've already been there and I've told you yes or no. Okay, so let's say you do a 2 move. You have your grid of 12 now because I said yes. Now you're trying to find it in that little grid and I'm trying to run back and probably defend you, most likely, unless maybe I know where yours is. And it takes you maybe a turn or 2 to finally walk over it or land on it. When you do, I need to say, like, when you cross it, I need to say, like, yeah, you got it. Or you exposed it. If you moved 4 spots and you actually walked over it in 3, that's okay. You still moved 4, but you actually, okay, there, yeah, you found it. And we just do you just mark it appropriately and, doesn't really matter now because you got it.
You need to race back to your flag.
Now you need to get back to your flag. So funny thing is, you haven't won yet. You've only gotten halfway. As you migrate to your flag, well, I'm all of a sudden trying to tag you to get my flag back, but also find out where your flag is, because you're heading that way. So you're playing this weird defensive strategy, and you're playing a weird offensive strategy of trying to get around me and get back to your flag.
We hope to be able to bring in some new fresh faces to check this game out and play it with us soon, but we still have a lot to really figure out which direction we want to go with it. Do we want to make it more complicated or keep it simple? We have a lot of ideas for adding environment to the board, or adding player roles and things like that to help you move quicker, and adding more flags into the game. There's a lot of more of components and decisions we have to make in that vein to make sure that this game is ready to be played by other people. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of From Our Couch to Yours. We're going to have more episodes coming out soon, including next week, where we're going to be talking more about some games that we've been prototyping, bring you into the process, and hopefully some new partnerships that we're developing in the future. Stay tuned, because in a few weeks we'll be heading over to GenCon as well, and we'll be documenting our exciting times there in Indianapolis, where a few of us are going to be going down and just meeting up with people and playing games and learning more about this industry and having a lot of fun. So subscribe to our newsletter, like and subscribe this video if you like. Shoot us a line, drop a comment in this, or you can shoot us an email. If you're excited about playing some of our games, you can subscribe to our newsletter, and then hopefully we will soon be able to invite people out to play some of these games that we're showing on this video. But thanks for following along with this journey, and we hope to bring some more to you soon. Till then, Chris Couch.